Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Charles Tulip and today we are playing City Skylines 2. So I thought we'd jump back into this game where I am rebuilding the suburbs of Phoenix in City Skylines 2. So um I've past couple days, sorry, my cat's right here. He wants some attention. But the past couple days I have been working on this section of the city, which is right oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry, guys, my cat. Okay. I've been working on this section of the city, which is just below this freeway interchange, and there's a little bit of a unnatural lake going on here. Um, just to show you guys the map that I'm working from real quick, I can show that to you. Yeah, so this is and let me actually pull that up. This is the section of the city that I'm working on. Here's the satellite view. So yeah, there's a lot of homes in this section, but there's also some shops, some apartments, all that good stuff. So let's switch back over to the game. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so I actually wanted to start here by working on this little area down here. So I kind of, along this edge of the river, I put this surface texture, the grass, all along the edge of this side of the lake. And I put a path, a pedestrian path, walking along there too, just like there is in real life. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side. I'm going to add a pedestrian path going along this edge and connecting to the neighborhood here. And then I'm also going to add some grass. So let's go ahead and start with the path. And I just like to turn off this snap to guidelines snapping. I don't find that one very useful unless you're trying to line something up. So actually, I might just turn all of the snapping off just so I can put this path exactly where I want it. Okay, and we might start the path right around here. I'm also going to turn on the continuous curve just like that. So let's see if we can kind of sneak this in here without destroying the houses. Okay, it looks like that worked. And then we can connect it up to the road there. Uh, the zoning for this house got, oops, wrong one. The zoning for this house got broken a little bit, so let's bulldoze that one and that one. And let's just wait a second and see if they pop back in. Oh, okay. Okay. My cat obviously wants a lot of attention right now. Here he is. His name is Tiger. Um, he just wants to interrupt the stream a little bit. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's see if we can get him to go that way. Okay. And I actually don't want this house to be this big, so I'm going to D-zone the last few squares there. Let's see if we can get a more normal size house. Okay, I think there is also, yeah, it looks like the path connects to the end of these two cul-de-sacs. Oh, it actually connects all the way up here as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sneak a path through there. But we can definitely continue. We can definitely continue. I don't know if you can see my cat again. We can definitely continue this path down here like this. And we'll do something like that. And then I think we will also just connect it right there. For some reason, that rebuilt that house when I just built this path. I don't know what's going on there, but let's connect the path up like that. And then I'll just do one more right there. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not gonna bother trying to fit the path through all of these houses to get up there, even though there is, I think the shape is just a little bit off of what I built in the game versus what's there in real life. So it's not a perfect match. Everything's not going to be exactly the same. But we can add this grass in here. So it looks like the grass does something like this, and it actually goes up along this path. Um, so let's just fit the grass in between these houses, just like this. And I'm kind of doing a free-form shape, kind of looking at the map. There's already someone walking along the path right here. Interesting. Okay. Uh, okay. So let's just continue this grass. And again, I don't want to knock the houses down while I'm doing this. So I'm just going to be careful of where those houses are. It looks like there's another path that I forgot to add in. Oh, we might go back and put that in. And then actually the grass ends right about there. So I'm going to build this out now into the water. So we get kind of a nice effect. And then maybe right about there, we will connect it back. So let's see how that looks. Um, I think I just want to bring this part out more like that. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Let's see, this other path actually goes from here all the way up to this street. So I don't know if that's gonna fit either. But I do want to put a couple trees in. So we will just choose the young and the mature trees. And I'm going to start with the oak and just put a couple of these around. And then maybe the hickory. Put that one right there. And then the linden, which is the smallest. So we can fit a few of those in here. Okay. Okay, I like how that looks. I'm not totally sure about these two trees over here. I might just move those to the other side of the river. Okay, I kind of do like that. And then there is a little shopping mall over in this side of the river. So, yeah, let's see what's here. If you see me looking down, I'm actually just looking at my Google Maps down here, just to see what to build. So I've also got my chat down here. Uh, anyways, I guess that's not important. Um, okay, so let's turn off this snapping option, snap to guidelines. We'll turn that off. And then I'm gonna build a road, yeah, right about here. It looks like it comes out at a little bit of an angle. And we just have to leave enough room to build a couple shops in here. So I think it comes right about there, and then it connects up to the road here. And it's actually not that sharp of a turn there. So let's try that again. I think we'll make it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to turn off the traffic lights. We'll turn off the crosswalks here because there is no crosswalks here. And then we will also probably turn off the left turn. It looks like the median actually continues all the way up here. So there's not going to be a left turn in or out of those places. And then this road actually goes up this way a little bit and then connects back to the road again. So let's do the same thing on this intersection. We'll turn off the traffic light and then, um, yeah, let me just check the satellite view. There is a median there, so we will turn off the left turns again. And it looks like the median, let me just grab the 6-lane divided road and I'm gonna replace this section here because there is a median up to that point. There's actually a median that goes all the way up here. So let me just see how that might look. Um, you know what? I am going to leave this road the way it is because this is the 7-lane asymmetric road. There's not a 7-lane divided road in here. There's only the 8-lane divided road. But this is the interesting thing is this road is actually 5 lanes on one side, 3 lanes on the other side. So if there was an asymmetric 8-lane divided road, I would use that. But we don't have that option. So I think the closest is the 7-lane asymmetric road to kind of get what we're going for here. Okay, let me see if I can fit a parking lot in here. Yeah, I think I will put a parking lot right there and maybe right there. And then we could also fit, oh yeah, this long parking lot fits perfectly right there. I think I will build a road on the other side, just like this. Oh, that was the one-way alley. I want the normal alley, the 2-way alley. Okay. And then let's see if we can get the zoning to match up here. So there's not going to be any zoning. Oops. Okay. We'll turn this straight back on. There's not going to be any zoning along these roads. Okay, that's perfect. That lined up just how I wanted it to. So then we will get the Southwest low density commercial buildings. And I think we'll have a block right there. We can do a shop right there. And then there's actually 2 more shops down here. So maybe we can just get 2 shops to appear here. Just like that. So Yeah, let's see if this other shop will pop up, which it may not because I think it is snapping to this road rather than this one. So let's see if we can fix that. We might just have to dezone this for a second. Okay, yeah. And then if we zone this, we should get two little shops. Okay, then we can delete all of our pathways. Okay, we got three little shops then. That works. I think I'm just gonna move this bus stop a little bit, just because it's sitting in front of the parking lot there. I think it should be right about there. Okay, we could work on the shopping mall that's on the other side here now. Let me just take a look. Yeah, so I actually already did this little area, and I think I wanna change this up a little bit. I think instead of having this alley with the little parking lot, we could turn this road into a parking road. So let me just see if I can get that to work. Yeah. Okay. That's a little closer to what it is in real life. And then there's actually another little way you can get back over there. Well, let me try that again. Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect actually. Okay. And there is a tree, a couple trees in here as well. So I'm just gonna plant an oak tree and then maybe we'll do a little linden tree. Okay. I'm sorry guys, my cat got hair all over my face and it's really bothering me. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can get to snap over here. I think we'll do a few little buildings just like that. Okay, that looks good. There is a message over here. It says the smog is just unbearable. Someone should really deal with all this air pollution. I wonder where this person lives. They're actually walking along the canal right now. Um, so let's check out their house. Oh, okay. So they're living right here. Let's check the air pollution map then. I see. So there is a little bit of air pollution leaking into downtown Gilbert from this little industrial area that I built. Okay. I just wanted to check out that message and see what was going on. Let's go ahead and go back over to the area we are working on. Okay. And then there is actually a mortuary right here. So I put in the crematorium right there. I think what I want to do next is the neighborhood that is along this road. So there is uh yeah, so let's start drawing those roads in. There's a road right about here that comes down around like this. It just follows the lake. There's another road from here. This road's pretty straight. This one goes all the way up to the water. And then it just connects to this road here. Let me just check the proportions here a little bit. I think this road actually comes out even farther. So let's try redrawing that one. And I'm just gonna see if I can fit the roads that are in the middle here. So there's one that goes right here, and then it loops back, and this might even be a little bit longer. Yeah, that looks pretty accurate. And this one, I'm gonna change how this looks a little bit. So this is straight, and then it curves down and connects back to the main road. Let's draw from up here. Okay, so there is a road up here, and then it curves out, comes down this point, and we'll connect it there, and then it goes down to baseline. And there is another little connection road right through here. Looks like it curves down this way and then goes something like that. Okay, and of course it renamed this street, which is supposed to be West Isabella Avenue. This one here is South Yucca. There is a cul-de-sac that I forgot right there. It looks like there's a cul-de-sac on this corner. So this one is West Javelina Avenue. This one we'll call South Choya. The one going this way is West Juanita Avenue. Okay. Okay, so let's build some houses in this little area. So let's see what the zoning looks like. Um, okay, I'm probably gonna change this a little bit. There's no zoning on this side of the street. It looks like all those houses point out. Or actually, it's the opposite. They all point in. Okay, so we will get rid of that. And we're actually gonna get rid of the zoning on this side. I've noticed that this game um doesn't it puts the houses farther away from each other, especially on curves, than it would be in real life. But I think it is also the zoning is more sparse in this game even than it was in City Skylines 1. Oh, there's another I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put this cul-de-sac in, but there's a cul-de-sac right about there. Uh I don't even know if we're going to have room for this. We can just build a little tiny street. Yeah, it's blocking. So we won't worry about that one. Um okay, we'll get rid of the zoning on that side. And then I think we'll try to get more zoning along this street. Okay, that looks okay. I just noticed that because I just opened the first game yesterday, I think, I just noticed that the houses seemed a lot closer together, even in that game. So I just thought that was an interesting point. And then right here, we will get rid of the zoning over here. Okay. Okay, so let's zone those houses in. I'm gonna grab this other tool and do probably just 3 cells deep in these other spaces. And there's actually no house out there that goes right next to the lake. Okay. Well, let's go back and delete all these little paths. Hopefully none of our houses will get deleted. Hey. Yeah, I just wanted to check the zoning again because it looks like we can fit another house right there. There's no house on that side. We just ran out of demand for low density residential. So those houses took a second to pop back in. Right. I think I'm going to put a couple trees over on this side of the lake. I also want to look at the path. I don't see a path running over here, but there is a little bit of green space. So let's go in with the grass surface and we will kind of block out this area, I think. Bring it up here. I think we can just bring it all the way to the road. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I will plant some trees. some of these oak trees out here, and then the hickory. Let's let's put another oak tree or two, and then we'll get some of the linden. There is a real lack of desert trees in this game. There's not really a lot of good options. I mean, there's the palm trees, which I have been using, but a lot of these trees you wouldn't really find in the Southwest. So I've just been using the oak, the hickory, and the linden tree. I feel like those maybe could grow in this climate and they look all right, but I do find it interesting that even if I'm using the map texture replacer to even get this dirt color on the map. So I'm actually using a mod I downloaded called the Arid theme, and that is what is giving me this red brown dirt color everywhere. If I did not have that, this would all be grass. So I think it's interesting that you need mods to even get a convincing desert landscape. But I like how this little area is looking. So let's see now if we can build the shops that are down here. I just want to check the proportions again of this whole kind of. So there's actually a road. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, this is going to be a 4-lane road that goes across the freeway. Maybe we should build our on and off ramps for Alma School. Yeah, I'm just taking a look here. Let's go ahead and put those on and off ramps in. So in the highway, I'm going to get the 1-lane, one-way highway. And we'll choose the continuous curve again. It looks like it starts somewhere around here. It's a little hard to estimate how long to make these, but I think it is maybe around here. So let's actually connect this up to the freeway. We'll get something like that, and then we can build a straight ramp all the way up like that. And we'll do the something similar on the other side. So this ramp is actually maybe even a little bit longer. So let's build that and then connect it. Let's do the same on the other side. Get the ramp going back down. Okay, let's check that out. Let's just compare it to the ramps around it. It looks pretty good to me. And so let's build this street now that goes across. SJP Media 1 says it's me. Hi, SJP Media 1. How are you? So we'll get this going straight across here. Okay. And then it actually, let's draw the rest of this road too. So, um, yeah, actually, I'm gonna delete just this last part because this road starts to curve actually right away. Maybe something like that, and then it actually comes down this way. Connects back to the road. Be right about there. And I will probably turn this into, it looks like there's a median on the part that goes across the highway, but the rest of it, I think I'm just going to have this regular 4-lane road. Okay, and let me just check that, just check how this looks right here. I think I want to redraw this part of it. It actually curves this way and then it curves back a little bit. Maybe something like that. Okay. In this little square, there is a junior high. So we could build that. I'm not sure if that should actually be an elementary school or a high school. So let's just check our education, which is right here. Um, so we're actually doing good on the capacity for both. We could probably do with a little more elementary school capacity, so I will probably do that. I'll probably build one of those. Even one little house right in this corner. So we can zone that in real quick. And then it looks like there might be some tennis courts. Oh yeah, let's name a couple streets that we just drew. So this one is South Longmore. This one looks like it got renamed. So this is West Juanita Avenue. And this road here has a few different names on these different parts, but I can't change the way that this road is shaped. Like I can't change the length of the road at any point. So there's nothing I can do about the name in the different sections of that road. Um, okay, so I'm just looking at this junior high. There's a baseball field, a softball field. There's actually a pool. It looks like a bunch of tennis courts. So let's take a look at our schools. We have this small elementary school that's probably too small. We have this Southwest Elementary School. That would be a good one to use. Yeah, I think we'll use that one for sure. And it's actually at a little bit of an angle. I'm just trying to see how we might fit this in here realistically. Okay, so there is actually a little road that goes, maybe it's closer to here. That's a little too sharp of a angle. Let's try that again. Maybe it's more like this. That looks good. And it looks like this is a one-lane road or a one-way road. So we'll just change that. Let's see how many tennis courts we can fit here. That's going to be in sports parks, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here's the tennis court. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't even know. Maybe we could fit one. This tennis court is kind of huge compared to what it should be, I think. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw another little alleyway. Maybe we can fit two of these tennis courts in here. If we, yeah, it looks like it's actually going to be a little bit too small. So maybe if we move this road more up here, that way we can fit at least one. Oops, I did that in the wrong order. Okay, let's just redraw that. And I was just curious here because I do have the recolor mod. So if I click on this building here, I can choose custom colors for it. It does not look like I can do that to the tennis court. Um, you know what? I'm gonna move this again. Maybe we'll just move it a little closer to the corner. Yeah, so we can fit it right there, and then maybe we could fit a basketball court, and that will kind of give the right look here. Although there is some parking along this street, not along the street, but just inside of it. Yeah, I don't know how to fit that in there. It's kind of interesting to me that the only roads that have parking on one side only are all one-way roads. I wonder if this road is a little bit smaller. That's gonna mess up the house now. Oh man. Okay. Let's get the continuous curve. Maybe we can draw this in here. It wants to connect to that road when it's right next to it. Maybe if we just connect it right there, that will give kind of the right look for what it is. And then let's see if we can put this house back in here. Maybe we will put a green space. Um, I guess we could change this road to just be one way. That would make more sense. And then let's put a green space in here, inside of this little circle. Then we can fit a couple trees. Okay. There is quite a few trees there. Okay, there's actually basketball courts on the other side of this street. I did not even see those. They're right about there. That's perfect. And there is another park in here that they just added in an update. It's the basketball center. I don't know if I want to put that because this is just actually a big pad of concrete. This basketball center has bleachers in it and it looks like even a little food stall. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So it's definitely a cool asset. Okay. Now I'm thinking, what if we just draw like this? Maybe we could put the school so it is on the correct angle that it exists on. It looks like it could fit there, although it is backwards because it's actually facing this corner. So maybe we actually do that over on this side. We can build a road here, and then it will kind of fit perfectly in that corner. Then we don't need that. Although It is, well, I think this shape is a little bit oblong of what it really is. So there is a traffic light down here, it looks like. And then there's also a traffic light here. So that's fine that I made those. I want this to be more like right here, but then it's going to be intersecting the road. Let's go ahead and put we'll do this one, the additional classrooms building. I like how that looks. Um, and then this is called roads. Uh, junior high. Yeah, I'm just gonna move this again. I'm gonna try to get it closer to where I want it. I think if we build this at a slightly different angle, we can fit it a little closer up there. And I might put, this is a pretty big building, so I might put, oh, where does this one go? Yeah, I'll build that. And then I don't know if I'm actually gonna build the annex building. So that looks all right. I just don't know though. Um, because maybe it would look better. Well, this building is just so big. Like if I delete that, I'm not going to be able to get it back because it would have to go way out here. Okay, I guess we're going to do that. Okay. And then maybe we should actually put the annex building right there. Let's see now. This can hold 3,250 students. We can actually build another one of these. There's just not room for it. We could put another one back there. That seems like a lot of buildings. Okay, let's just stick with the one right there. And then I'm gonna build kind of another parking road. On a continuous curve again. So we can build a little curve this way. It will curve around. I think I'm gonna try that again. Can fit it like that. There is supposed to be a softball field in this corner, but I don't think that's gonna fit. But what we can put here is the pool, because that is right about here. I don't know if I like this. I want these to connect because I think it makes sense, but I like that a little bit better. That takes up a little less room. Okay, there's actually more parking down this way. Be just about there. And then there is um hold on, I have to remember where this is. There is a baseball field down in this corner. Oh, this is huge. Okay, wait, I don't think this is gonna fit at all. Yeah, it's supposed to be right there. Um, maybe if we just get rid of that little road we just drew. Okay, this one is small, but this is just the diamond. Just want to take a look at the difference between all these. We might have to go with this tiny diamond. Yeah, we can draw our own grass. Okay, anyway, so let's put this little road back. Actually, not that long, so I'm going to just draw a little road out here. That. Okay, maybe we move this a little bit more into the corner if we can. And then hopefully it lets me put the grass down around this. I don't think this baseball field counts as a surface, so okay. The grass is kind of shaped like this. It, there we go. It said invalid shape, but I think I just connected it wrong. Okay. Okay, I like how that looks. Um, we'll put some more grass down here. Then there is another kind of field right here. I'm just gonna draw a big square to represent the the green that's in this area. Okay, that's fine. And then let's see. There's also a little bit of green, uh, not exactly over here, but this looks like an empty spot, so let's go ahead and put some trees in. We'll just kind of cover up the corners and make it look a little more natural. Okay, let's get the hickory tree. There's actually a few trees. I might just grab the linden. There's a few trees up here. Okay, then yeah, we'll go back in with the linden again, and we'll just dot a few of those around. Okay, I kind of put a lot of those. Let me take a look at that. I like how that looks. Okay, and it's not too far off of the real thing, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think I'm going to just skip over this shopping center. I would rather build the neighborhood that's up here. So I already put the apartment complex in. Um, there's a church down here in this corner. So yeah, we might need to work on this edge, uh, the edge of the freeway a little bit. We'll make this look nice, kind of like I did over here. So we'll smooth it out and we'll put these bushes and also put palm trees in here too. Okay, so let's see if I can remember how to do that. And I actually just want to save the game. So we're going to need the terraforming tool and I'm going to turn the brush size down maybe to 40. And then I'm going to use the level terrain tool to draw a sort of grab the height here and then draw it out. Then that way we can go back in with the soften terrain tool and kind of just get it to make a really nice slope like that. And I might just fix this section, bring that out again. Yeah, we'll do something like that. And then we can do the same thing on the other side. We should just be able to use the soften terrain right there. Okay, so let's keep going like that. And then I'm going to use level terrain once again to bring this out because this should be pretty close to the freeway along here. Okay, let's go back in with soften, and we'll just continue this a little bit onto the other side. Okay, I guess actually these ramps, I didn't need to soften this last part because these ramps, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other ramps, which is, oh yeah, I forgot to even put the number of lanes up here on these ramps. Um, yeah, let me just see how I did it over here. Okay. Um, okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to the highways and I'm going to now replace these, but I'm going to turn on the replace upgrades and I want it to, how do I do this? I think I think with these settings right now, it should do what I want. So I can put yeah, exactly. So I can put the 3-lane exit up here and it actually brings this is the anarchy tool that does this, but it brings the ground up to this height under the road. Let me see what one more section of this would look like. That's good, actually. And then I'm going to replace this just to bring the ground up to that level. And on this side, we're going to do 2 lanes until it merges down there. And we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll put the 2 lanes. And then up here, we'll have the 3-lane exit. And we'll replace that. Okay, so that's how I've been getting the ground to go up to the road. And then for this street, for Alma School that goes across the freeway, I want to replace this with the 8-lane divided road. If it'll let me, I might have to turn anarchy on. Yeah, because there is, oops. Okay, see now I forgot to turn off this setting and it just completely brought the ground through the freeway and everything. So to fix that, I'm gonna turn this, I actually have to turn this to elevated now. And I might just turn snapping off so I can center this a little better. Let's see. Now it looks right. Okay. And let's just fix the lanes on the other side. Yeah, let me check what this next ramp looks like. So I did use the 7-lane asymmetrical road going up to the freeway on both sides. So we'll do that again. 7-lane one is right here. I'm going to turn the elevated off and then we'll turn snapping on. And we'll do, I actually want it going that way. Okay. So I'm gonna fix the terraforming a little bit around here. So we might just make this a little bit bigger because I want the road to, what am I saying? I want the ground to basically be all the way up next to the freeway rather than having this big ditch in between the ramp and the ground. Okay. Okay. Okay, and I think we will even bring it a little closer to the freeway on this side. Yeah, so this part of the freeway is a little bit different because this is actually where the interchange starts with the 101. So on this side, I think, well, this part should definitely be level here, just like that. And then this part, I think this part should be level, maybe going up like that. Let's make the brush a little bit smaller again, and we'll soften the train here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now let's check the other side. I just want to soften the train going up like that. Okay, so now let's plant our vegetation along this edge of the freeway. So first I'm going to get the royal palm tree, and I'm actually going to use the line brush. I think I probably did every 24 meters. So that's actually the longest distance. And we'll just draw a line of palm trees right there. Go back to, actually, we will go to the forest brush now. I'm definitely going to make this smaller. Let's plant the wild green bush 1 and the wild flower bush 1. I think those are the two I've been using. So we can plant those just where we put the palm trees. Something like that. Bring that all the way up to here. Oh wow, it is anarchy is still on, so it just planted these all over the road. Um okay, let's I guess we're gonna have to delete those. Okay, yeah, if I can just get the bulldozer to highlight the bush instead of the street. There's a little bit of a divot right here next to the ramp. I'm gonna try to fix that. So we'll use level terrain again and just bring that up. And I really like that the vegetation um, adheres to the land. So when you move the land, the vegetation also moves. Yeah, these bushes are all over the place. Okay. Okay, hopefully there's not too many more. It looks like they didn't get on the road over here. Okay. Okay, now I think we're ready to build the neighborhood that is up here. And before we do that, actually, I am just going to take a quick break. I'll see you guys in a minute. Be right back. Guys, I'm back. Okay. Um, so let me just pull up my map again and we'll start building the roads that are up here. So let's see. There's a road about here that curves this way and then it comes up like this and maybe it's actually more about right there. It curves. This is actually kind of a sharp curve right there. And this house disappeared again. Okay. Um, yeah, let's just try to place that house one more time. Looks like maybe this tree is in the way of the zoning now. Let's see. Well, actually, I don't think the tree would be in the way, would it? Okay, there we go. Hopefully that house will stay there now. Let's see here. There's another road that connects here. That looks pretty accurate. And then it's actually straight all the way up here. And then maybe about here it turns, goes along the freeway there, and then curves this way and connects back to this Longmore Road. This road has a 90-degree turn right here, and then it connects up there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. It looks like there's a cul-de-sac about here, maybe even let's see if we can get the right angle on this one. That looks pretty good. And this is kind of a big cul-de-sac with even it even has a little bit of trees in the middle. So we might do the roundabout instead, the medium roundabout. You know what? I kind of like the look of this cul-de-sac, I guess. So we'll stick with that. And then there's the same kind of thing up here, actually. So right about there, we'll put another one of these medium cul-de-sacs. Okay. Then there's actually another road right here. So this goes this way. It um, curves up, connects. Maybe there's a little bit of a straight portion. We'll try that again. And then it connects here. And then it continues out on this side. There's a straight portion. And then another 90-degree turn. And it looks like it fits right there. Okay. And there are little cul-de-sacs on these corners. Let's see if that happens anywhere else. Yeah, it's going to be on this corner here And there's actually another cul-de-sac, another kind of large one with another tree planted in it. That's about right there. So let's see if that will fit. Okay, that looks good. Another cul-de-sac on that corner. Oh, and then there's even one more, I guess right about here. So we'll stick with this medium cul-de-sac if that will fit. Okay, I think that's all the roads here. So let's take a look at the zoning. Okay, it looks like there is houses on both sides of these two streets. So not going to be any houses on here. That's the apartment complex. And then let's just see if we can get this to look nice with houses on both sides. That looks good. Kind of portion this. Okay, let's see if we can get some houses to go around the cul-de-sac. There we go. Okay. And then these plots should be okay. There is a couple um, houses right here. Let's just delete that real quick. Okay, that looks better. So there is some houses here, and then there's also houses on this street too. And then there's not going to be houses right here. So that looks better. That's looking pretty good. Let's check. I really do like the roundabouts and the cul-de-sacs. I like that the zoning fits around the roundabouts and the cul-de-sacs as well. I think that's a really nice touch that they added. Let's get rid of the houses, the zoning right here. We will fit some houses in here, I guess. Um, let's take a look in here. So there's not going to be houses right here or up here. So we'll just have it on both sides like that. This part is looking okay. This street does not have houses on it, so that looks better. And then let's see if we've got houses on both sides all the way around here. Yep, looks like it. And then there is no houses right here. So we'll get those going on the cul-de-sac. This is the church down here, so we'll come back to that. I think these houses are actually on this side. Yeah, so no houses on this bigger street. Let's try let's try to get another house in here, like in the corner maybe. If I yeah, that's not gonna happen. Okay. So that's okay. Okay, I think that looks right. So let's go ahead and fill these in. Yeah, let's fill this part and we'll just see what develops here. I've never used the mod that lets you just place buildings uh in this game. Like the I think it's called it's let me think about this for a second. I think it's called like a building plop. I could be wrong because I've never used that mod. So I don't actually know how that works. I apparently don't know what the mod is called. I have never tried to just plop buildings wherever I want them. It's just taking a second for all these buildings to grow in. So I've always done the zoning and let the buildings grow. I don't know if I would like the other way more because with that you can get a more customized look. Okay, I think looks like all the buildings have grown in, so we should be ready to start deleting these paths. I mean, even placing these paths to get the zoning to snap is to where I want it is more than what I usually do, right? So I normally just let the game decide however it wants to zone an area and I just fill it in. It's only with this recreation project that I'm doing that I'm more concerned about which streets the buildings actually are on. Let's delete that one. Let's see what happened here. Um, we can just fill in these a couple empty spots. I don't know if we will put buildings there. We can put one on that corner. Okay, that looks all right. Oh, these ones condemned again. Okay. Yeah, let's see because I did want the house on the other side here. So let's just yeah, let's see if we can get that to stay.